Mr. Natsume, you say it was 11 p.m. when you left to return to your room, correct? Yes! If I'm gonna keep talking, I'm definitely gonna take a drink now. And Inspector Gregson. This fucker is the victim is gonna come up in front of the stand and be like, actually, I waited until 1 in the morning to take my tea. Ha 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 ha! Fucking moron. Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally? Of course we can. There's no problem with that report, sunshine. Actually, I think there's a very big problem. Because there's a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's story. Testimony. What now? What are you on about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. Nerf.
I feel like Van Zeke's gonna be the one, like, it doesn't mean that he drank it at that time.
Yeah, this is it's a small thing, but you kind of have to... That's definitely what I feel like with Ryunosuke, he always has to constantly pounce on the littlest shit, because he's at such a disadvantage from the start of these cases. There was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room. How could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? This is really simple, dude. Wow! They did the exact same thing!
He lost his vision chips!
No! Your defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Van Zeeks? I'll pour myself a cup of delicious red wine.
And throw it! Smell it?
Smells good. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. A toast. I was wondering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hallowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? Psst. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea.
No, it's a pretty...
A phantom?
Fair.
A ghost murdered him. Wait a second. Susano's like, wait a second, not this shit again! Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30. That's silly. Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying, well, God. Drink tea while it's hot. Well, as you may have noticed, there's an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. Oh, God, I hate... What? That's stupid. I can't believe the British invaded half the world and decided to use none of their cooking. There may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities. What sort of possibilities, Counsel? I don't know. Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor? Was this also a ghost? It's a very bold assertion, my learned friend, from someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or, the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. You suggest this may have been a suicide, Counsel? Objection. My God. Mr. Shakespeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted. But he could be lying. Yes. And? Sorry, what you just said was so stupid, I'm gonna let you break the silence. Good enough. Is something wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? Oh. It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Brief kind of life's but a walking shadow. That's wrong. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and it is heard no more. I will be a witness in my own murder trial. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
And we find out that idiot is you?
What if? No, never mind. Who, sir, are you? William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter fence. I am the victim! What? What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. I'm already utterly crushed. You're calling him as a witness. Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Aha! Tee-hee! Happy am I, Shakespeare, to regale thee with a tale of woe, my lord.
He's probably still angry from the argument.
But I still have my own tale to tell, my own tale of worse woe. I could regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. Wait, who the fuck are you? Alright, so that's Mr. Shakespeare, but who's that other man beside him?
His agent?
I feel sure we've caught a glimpse of that man before. Twice now, I think. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth, the unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare. Oh, name's Meterman. Adron B. Meterman. I work for the Alamont Gas Company, East End branch office. Yeah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right. It's him. He was peeping in the window. What's this? I don't need to flash back to something I just saw, like half an hour ago. Okay. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garrett's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee. What does he have to do with this case? I mean, dude, gas. So, William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember that sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips? I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me's a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus be I, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. They're actually taking the seraph anagram idea seriously. Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspeare doing here? The gas man, I mean.
What, me? What now?
Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence when you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room in the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? I didn't quite say that. This young chin-stroker is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Young? Oh, wow, he's only 23. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman?
Hang on, Nate. I'm just here.
I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. You will tell the court as wetly as possible what happened in the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent. The snow lay about. My neighbours did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour. Oh, hey, pilot.
Hey, pilot.
You're playing Mario. Not else.
I was outside this boat's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on.
What the fuck?
Keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited that room but his short little brown-baked Eastern fella.
Why are you?
By Jove.
Yeah, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspeare's room all night?
That's right. Of course, the Brooks window was all but blocked up, ain't it? There's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through that.
Question is, sir, why? Ah! What the fuck? No, I don't want to see him from face for up close like that again.
It looks like Popeye.
Well, now that's
Bunny! Eat this strawberry.
well, now that's 'cause he's on my list.
What a piece of work is a man! Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make no more ado about these tedious words. My favorite Shakespeare piece of Shakespeare trivia is that during his time, ado was slang for pussy.
Yep.
Or wait, sorry, no. Nothing is slang for pussy, so it's much ado about nothing. The title of it literally means a lot of hoopla about pussy.
What did you say about me?
There we go, I got his fucking voice back.
Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime.
What about the meter man? He was there.
Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial.
This is like our second testimony.
Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Okay. Okay. So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper?
Fee and the luxury, fee and gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time.
Sorry?
I would that my belly were full, nowhere oft than the sun doth rise. Well, much heroic eating habits, I must say. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence it is that there doth not in my chamber be then the costumes of mine art.
That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room.
Now I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere.
For I have devoured them all.
You eaten them.
I was so hungry.
With my skull.
Actually, this is one of the funniest things that the investigations games gave us was a judicial assistant in the form of a young Ray Shields, and he has the most intriguing gimmick that he wants to he writes notes down, but he wants to commit them to memory. So he absorbs his notes by eating them. He'll write down in his notebook, and occasionally he'll rip out the paper and just consume it. It's so funny every time he does it. It's honestly one of the best bits they've had for a judicial assistant.
Every word be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise?
Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think?
Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea.
What if the poison was in the ink? He wrote the play and then ate it. Huh.
I was outside this Blix fella in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room.
But the windows of that house have all been filled in. Historical artifact? Who the fuck spells artifact like that? That's just wrong. Okay.
Yeah, you're right there, all bricked up horribly. Just like my penis. As it happens, me willy. As it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking into that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well.
I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But them's me orders. That's what I'll keep doing, long as there's breath in my body.
What's with all the theatrics today?
Out of interest, Mr. Meterman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all?
No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time as far as I'm concerned.
And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide.
Suicide.
How can he be so sure of that?
The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and he didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle.
Oh, yes. Lucidly explained, Counsel. Thank you.
What if it was in the soap, then? He just put it out on the windowsill afterwards.
No one else visited his room.
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant, then?
Objection!
How many short little round-backed Nipponese with a mustache do you think there are in London?
Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap, and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself.
And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shamspear drink tea together?
Nah, sorry, I couldn't say.
Why not?
Because I couldn't see the room out that way, could I? What I did see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fella wearing a pretty dress. And the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match, I'll tell you. I don't know what to make of it.
Oh wait, no,
They were
is the
fucking.
wife in
They were fucking. Yeah, we haven't seen the wife yet.
Yeah, I was wondering, is she still in jail or
Nah, wait. Hold on.
because I mean if he was fucking the wife.
Yeah, hold on. She should be in jail right now. I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway.
Mr. Meterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question?
Why did your chin jiggle? Why does your chin have jiggle physics? What are you storing in there? Are you like a pelican?
No question, Gossman's honor.
So that's the entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, I can't see any obvious holes at all, to be honest. No. Oh dear. If nobody else visited Mr. Shamspear's room that night apart from Mr. Natsume, I imagine the members of the jury will all conclude the same thing. Right, that he's guilty. Well, all we can do is press those witnesses for more information and hope for a breakthrough. I don't know, that thing about the dress seemed a little sus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this part in particular...
Although, what's-his-face always wears a robe. I guess I could be confused to the dress.
I don't know. To be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, indeed, sir. Perchance thou wouldst call him the man from upstairs?
And what time did the mustachioed Nipponese visit you in your room?
Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo, did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. Details of which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes. And we were broiled in such a literary...
I literally bit my tongue from this guy's fucking speech. Ow!
Do you want me to keep
Tongue twister.
literary debate as time.
Did you offer to kiss my tongue?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I see.
As history hath not
It's not the
seen
weirdest thing I've kissed
before.
on you.
By which I presume he means... their discussion about who was stronger, Romeo or Juliet, who could defeat Goku.
I, Shamspear, did play the part of young...
Oh, they literally dressed up as Romeo and Juliet and acted it out. They were fucking...
Dang.
They were into some kinky roleplay.
Dang.
Each of us dressed as would our characters be to bring weight upon our merry experiment.
I did not imagine this.
Frailty, thy name is woman.
Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu, but... No, did I dream? 'Twould be of a skill practiced by the comely maiden. Juliet beat Romeo up? This is not helping our case.
I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room.
But of course, my liege. I am thy servant. Gladly, I would do thy bidding. Okay. This honestly feels like one of those where you just have to press everything. Let me stop you right there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. Wiggle, 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 wiggle,
I just
wiggle.
kicked the other 2 off for the stand.
If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of... Jesus, what the fuck was that? Maybe I'm just crazy. Alright. That 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Stop wiggling. I did drink of the tea, not whilst my guest didst tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold. Jesus. At 1 hour post midnight, verily were my lips parched. Why? That doesn't sound normal. Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there's no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again, and who was stronger?
Mr. Shakespeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker?
But of course, my liege. 'Twas this stupid lover... What? Stupid? Lover of words did attempt to shovel me off this mortal coin. We all know what that means. Yeah.
What now? What is this bullshit?
My lord? Goodness me. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me?
Yes. Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another?
Like, no, it's not even finished.
That you've reached a unanimous decision?
Too right we have. Are you all with me?
Yes. Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of the cross-examination!
To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. But in the end, what difference do they make? None, as far as I can see. And since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer.
Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow it up. What's that? Sorry, didn't quite catch what you said.
Are you getting a little antsy?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll actually... What time is it right now?
10:30.
10:30. Oh, it's actually not as late as I thought it would be. Let's get to the whatever they call it, and then I'll
Where
leave
we
it off.
say
Whatever the
sharing.
whatever gender gerrymander.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Well, shit, we already lost. I really thought we had this one in the bad, Miss Susato. All of you? Already?
Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
I bring like 30 of these.
And so, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All is well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished.
Wah! Get up the stairs! No, please. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Miss Susato? Have you already forgotten, you stupid dummy? The something. A summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. Ugh. My poor mouse. The trial can't end now. Oh, he adjusts his fucking armband, but it's not even there on this outfit. Damn it. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. He should adjust the mouse. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord.
God damn it, you have to keep doing this, don't you? Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination.
Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Let's just ignore the 2 trials that you've participated in before this point, in which you both times have used the summation examination to change the jury's mind.
Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. Let's get this over with. The court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law.
Thank you, my lord.
You better make this fucking quick. I have a hot date tonight. Believe me, my lord, we all know about this young lad's tenacity, and we're ready for it. Very well, then. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. The victim, well, may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare that the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very suspicious. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least.
I really don't care, like. Just need this trial to end quickly. 3 hours of fishing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all.
Oh, God. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It would also seem that that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. Meanwhile, him in the corner just waving his arms like he was before. A wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. A wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
It's just like in Us. That's just his hypnosis.
Yeah. Sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered it at all. Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I've pleaded with the jury on Susaki-san's behalf before, and it worked, so you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how I don't care. No, I'm good. I know that this is only refreshing because this is the second game, and for some reason you might play this game before the other one, but that's silly. and we didn't do that, so I know how it works. I remember.
Bunny.
The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement, and finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. So it's a good idea that we're taking a break and coming back like a week later to do it then, when we've forgotten fucking everything about this case.
Ah, bunnies!
Been seeing a lot of bunny videos today. They're grooming each other. Just like...
And then there's this one who's getting pets.
The defense's rebuttal. Okay, well, thanks you for joining us for Sub by Sub, please. I'll see y'all next time.
Oh my god, I am getting a shit ton of bunnies. Bunny!
Bunnies! Did you join a bunny group or something?
I don't think so. Here's the thing.
Actually, let's not.
Join us next time for more Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve,
In which we resolve this case, you know? Bye!